Ah, The Little Mermaid. That top epic Disney property that's going to be turned to live action and everyone can't wait for it. That one that's been absolutely disliked so much that Walt Disney official YouTube has shut the comments down. Yeah, that one. Well, ladies and gents, the lead actress Halle Bailey has come out and said some very, very interesting things. So we're going to be taking a look at this today. It's an interesting question, isn't it, ladies and gents? There are many a film which is female-led. There's many a film which is black-led, many a female which is black-female-led, and so on and so forth. We can run the whole gamut of diversity across the board. And there are films which you hear about mainly because the actors complain about criticism. And then there are films that you don't hear about, and they just let the movie do the talking. Well, those films that you tend to hear about from the actors or the directors or the studio, well, they always tend to do terribly because they're shit. And the studio and the directors tend to wheel out whatever they've done, swapped out a character or changed the race or the sex or whatever, as a shield for their shit work. And it looks like The Little Mermaid might be that. I don't know, I've not seen it, but it looks like it might be that. Because we're getting some interesting commentary courtesy of Halle Bailey, which is just textbook, ladies and gents. Absolutely textbook. You'll just go, well, of course we are. The Little Mermaid star Halle Bailey hits back at racist trolls. As a black person, you just expect it. It's very, very justified to go, why did you change that person? That's a justified question. That's not racist. That's a justified question. Why? Why did you change it? Just that. Just that. Screen's a bit dark. Could brighten the exposure up. Doesn't really work with the skin colour of the lead actress. That's justified. It's a criticism of colour grading. The dreadlocks look a bit strange in water. Don't really flow that well. Oh, the visual effects are a bit shit. No, not racist. Just very constructive. But it would seem Halle Bailey, as a black person, she just expects it. And look, just as an FYI, you know, like all jokes aside, there has of course been some element of racism, but there is in all walks of life. There is racism, bigotry. You can run the whole gamut of bigotry across the board in everything. It doesn't even need to be said. This is the situation that we hit. That's just life. That's humans for you. Unfortunately, arseholes will be arseholes, and they just are everywhere. That just is the situation. I don't ever feel the need to address that, because I feel like people are mature enough and intelligent enough to go, that's a given that there will be people like that in all walks of life at any given time about anything. Because you just can't escape people being arseholes. That's the sad nature of life. You'll never be able to stamp it out. However, yes, there has been some. So it needs to be said. And obviously that's awful. It's not nice. You shouldn't be... Well, I mean, you can be what you like, of course, but I don't abide by bigotry on that level. But it's these kind of comments which always make me concerned. You know, I always go, right, well, you know, the vast backlash has primarily been, well, why did you swap the person out? That's a bit strange. Because, sure, she can sing, but does she embody Ariel? I mean, the hair's not super... I mean, they could even brighten the bloody hair up. There's so many things you could do to make this person look more like that character. And it is very strange how gingers seem to be ripped apart in modern Hollywood now and swapped out. Generally, always speaking for black people. I mean, most recently, we only have to look at Velma. Was she ginger? Oh, no, I'm mistaken. That's Daphne. Velma had the ginger top. But, I mean, that's another character that was just randomly swapped out for a self-insert of Mindy Kaling. God. Anyway, but yeah, gingers on a whole generally have been swapped out quite a lot. It's bizarre. Really, really bizarre. But anyway, she did this interview with The Face, which I covered last night on the Hcast, and this is just... You'd think I was joking when you look at some of this stuff. You would honestly be mistaken that this is like a joke. But no, this is a real website. This is a real publication. Look at this. Look at this. What a pile of shit. This is genuinely awful. Whoever approved any of this, even the layout's shit. It looks like... Do you remember what you could do with like HTML on... It's like a WordPress. Was it a WordPress website or... I can't remember what they were, but there was websites. I mean, even on the likes of MySpace, you could do it. You could mess around with HTML. It looks like that. It's so... I mean, it's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. But I don't know, she did this article with them. And the singer, now actress, said, as a black person, you just expect it. And it's not really a shock anymore. When Chloe and I first signed to Parkwood, Beyonce was always like, I never read my comments. Don't ever read the comments. Honestly, when the teaser came out, I was at D23 and I was so happy I didn't see any of the negativity. I mean, you do. You did read it. We know you did because you were addressing it. So of course you did. I know people are like, it's not about race. But now that I'm her, people don't understand that when you're black, there's this whole other community. It's so important for us to see ourselves. Well, one, I would say, who's the leader of this community? Because we need to obviously have a conversation about, you know, you being a leader of this community. Were you democratically elected, I guess? We'll have a conversation about that. But also as well, like this is an exclusively American element. You know, like there's very few. I would be very, very surprised if there's many people in Africa going, brilliant, there's an Ariel, there's a black Ariel. Very, very few. It's almost exclusively an American issue. She says, look, I was crying all night for 2 days just staring at them in disbelief. It makes me feel more grateful for where I am. And this is all about, apparently, black parents capturing their children's reactions, which is nice, you know, sure, that's the thing. But again, this is that element of it being an exclusively American thing. Now, the reason why I'm addressing this and sort of talking about it is just because you never hear about this when it's a good film. So, a little-known film that you didn't really know or hear about was Ready or Not, right? Female-led film, Samara Weaving. Absolutely plays a stone-cold badass in that. Just obliterates people. Great film. Really, really good film. Didn't hear anything. No. Wasn't like, oh, this is all misogyny, blah, blah, blah. Oh, people that don't like it are just sexist. Oh, people are just... you're an ism or a phobe. Didn't hear any of that. There are so many movies that just come out and they go under the radar in all of this media storm and they're just good films. Joker is a great example of a film where the media so desperately wanted someone to go and shoot someone up in a theatre. That is genuinely what the media was pushing for before Joker was released with Joaquin Phoenix. They were so inherent. They had this weird desire for people to get killed over Joker. It came out, no one addressed anything. Joaquin Phoenix didn't talk about it. Todd Phillips didn't talk about it. The film just came out, smashed it. I think it's the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Obliterated the box office. Amazing. No one did anything. But the media was so hell-bent on it. You know, whenever the actors and the director choose to start speaking out about stuff, and the studio especially, there's always a concern. Remember Lightyear? People were like, well, that's a bit weird. You know, there's Lightyear. Why did you swap out the character? And also, you know, there's this in it and there's this in it. And then they went, massive shitstorm. Huge shitstorm on. They were like, well, you're just this. You're just blah, 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 blah. All this kind of crap. Nah. It's just funny. Anyway, love to hear any and all of your thoughts. I am actually waiting for another video to get approved. That's why I've made this video. So for those that have stayed this long, my Cocaine Bear review, I'm waiting for that to be approved by YouTube. And I can't release it until it has, which is very frustrating. So that's why I chose to make this video, as well as it being an interesting topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts though, so let me know down below. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Cheers guys, take care.